Hello. In this video, we'll be going over IRS Form SS-4, application for an employer identification number. So this is the paper application that anyone can complete to acquire an employer ID number from the IRS. So we've covered this form a couple years ago, but the IRS recently updated this, being December 2025. Not a whole lot of difference in this form from the prior version. It appears from the form instructions that they might have made an update to the mailing address. I've updated our respective article accordingly, but everything else about this form is basically the same as it was before. So we're going to go through this. We're going to apply on behalf of our taxpayer, John Doe. We're just going to say that he opened up an LLC, and we're going to go through this this form. So let's just say Doe Enterprises LLC. Now there could be a trade name, like a doing business as, fill in the blank. So if there's a different name, you would put that in block 2. You don't have to put anything here, so we're just going to keep it simple. If you're applying for an EIN for a trust or an estate as an executor, then you would put the person responsible for that. So we're not going to put that here because we're going to put the name of the responsible party down here, and that would be, John Doe. So let's just put the mailing address. So that's So if he had a different street address, so let's say that this was a P.O. box, then we would put his street address here. Again, P.O. box would go under the mailing side. The street address is the physical address of wherever this entity is going to be. So this is going to be in Texas, name of the responsible party, and then his social security number. We'll put that here. So is this an application for an LLC? Yes. This would be, let's just say it's a one person LLC. Yes. All of this means, like, the reason this is being asked is because LLC is probably one of the most common tax entities other than a sole proprietorship, and according to the IRS, a single person LLC is no different from a sole proprietorship. So you can still have an LLC. It would be considered as a sole proprietorship if there's one person, and it's not an S corporation. All that means is you'll complete your tax information on Schedule C of your individual tax return or your Form 1040. But on your Schedule C, you would have the ability to put it in EIN of your LLC here. So the IRS just is gathering this information so that it can make sure that its understanding of your records as the taxpayer is up to date. So if there were two people in an LLC, technically that would be considered a partnership unless it was also organized as like a S corporation or a C corporation. So in line 9A, we're going to check the type of entity. Again, we're just going to put that it's a sole proprietorship. Again, one person LLC would be considered a sole proprietorship. So now if this was a corporation, you would enter, if the state and if there's a foreign country. So if you check this, then you would enter the form to be filed. So this could be an 1120, which would be a C corporation. Could be an 1120S, which would be an S corporation. Let's see some of these other ones. Personal service corporations. Normally these would be something of a professional service, so like a law firm, a doctor's office that's owned by doctors, something like that. Tax exempt organizations like a church or a church controlled organization, nonprofits, states, plans, trusts. So, well, plan administrator would be like a retirement plan, but estates and trusts also have unique EINs, and then all of these are probably much lesser known. Farmers, co-ops, state and federal government entities, so on and so forth. So in line 9B, we're going to skip that because it's not a corporation. And then line 10, reason for applying. Probably one of the more common reasons is banking purposes, to set up a banking under the LLC. So most banks require, if you're going to set up an account under an LLC, that you have an EIN. There could be other reasons. You could possibly need to have an EIN to comply with IRS tax withholding. Maybe you started hiring employees, so on and so forth. So pick the reason that applies to you. And then line 11, we're going to put down the date that this business started. So we'll just call it 1/1/2026. And then the closing month of the accounting year is December. The highest number of employees in the next 12 months, agricultural, household, or other, we'll just put 0 across the board. Do you expect your employment tax bill to be $1,000 or less, and file a Form 944 every year instead of a quarterly employment tax return? You can check this box. So Form 944 is the annual employment tax form. Form 941 is the quarterly. So basically filing quarterly employment tax versus the every year. That's basically the difference. And if you can do that, you can file annually if your tax bill, your employment tax bill, is $1,000 or less for the full year. And you can elect that right here. If the IRS tells you that you have to file quarterly, then you can't select this. But so let's say first date that the wages or annuities were paid. We'll just say that was also January 2026, and then select the one that's the closely describes the principal activity of your business. We'll just say that he's into finance and insurance, insurance sales. So has the applicant entity ever applied for and received an EIN? We would put no. But if you did, then you would write down the previous EIN. This is for IRS use only. So a third party, if you want someone else to receive the EIN and answer questions, like if you are putting an officer in charge of compliance or whatever. And then John Doe signs, dates, enters a telephone number and a fax. Also on this instruction, on the back of this form, is basically a step-by-step of, do I need an EIN? So all of the different situations, if you opened a bank account for banking purposes and you needed an EIN, then it tells you exactly what lines to complete. So this is a pretty handy resource, like a quick check, right? So if you needed an EIN because you created an S corporation, then you would also be filing a Form 2553. If you're a single member LLC, you may file a Form 8832 for filing employment tax returns. You may be filing something else if you have foreign-owned interests. So we'll put links in the show notes to other to resources we've created on other forms that may be pertinent to this. And if you do not want to do this at all, you can also apply for an EIN through the IRS website. So we'll put a link in the show notes to the video where we walk through that, as well as the online EIN application. So I think that covers everything we have here. For step-by-step guidance, we'll put a link in the show notes for the article, which also contains mailing and fax instructions if you're interested in completing the paper form and sending it to the IRS. We'll put links in the show notes to all the other resources we've created that might be pertinent. If you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. If you like our YouTube videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, or if there's another topic that you'd like to see covered in an upcoming video, please hit me up in the comments section. Thank you very much and have a great day.